Hi guys, and welcome to the show. Today,
we're gonna unbox the GM DX975 5-channel Hi Res audio amplifier from Pioneer. So stay tuned. So let's go ahead and get this thing out of the box. It comes with an owner's manual and a warranty card, a subwoofer level control, the high level input, the cable for the subwoofer level control, an Allen key, and some screws. And then we have the amplifier itself. Now let's take a look at some of the specifications on this amplifier. Right off the bat, the size of the amplifier is 12.4 by 7.87 and it's 2 inches high. It's got 75 watts by 4, 350 by 1 at 4 ohms, and 100 watts times 4, 600 by 1 at 2 ohms. It has a signal to noise ratio of 94 dBs. The bass boost level control is between 0 and 18 dB. It has auto signal sense turn on and a protection control system. Now let's take a look at the input side of the amplifier. Starting in the middle, you have 6 gold-plated RCA inputs. The gold plating is one of the new features on this amplifier. You have channel A crossovers. Now all crossovers are going to be variable between 40 and 500 hertz. You have the low pass, off, or high pass switch, and the gain control. There again, all gain controls are variable between 6.5 to 0.2 volts. You have your input selector switch of either 2-channel or 4-channel. We'll come back to that in a minute. On the other side, you have your channel B inputs, along with your high-level input. Across the bottom, you have your subwoofer level control input, your low-pass crossover, a 12 or 24 dB per octave switch, gain control, and AB/subwoofer input selector, as well as your power protection. Let's go back to the 2-channel, 4-channel switch for a minute. What that is giving us the option to do is either plug into just A or A and B. So if you're running a radio that has 4-channel preamp output, you can run channel A and channel B. Or if that radio just has front and then the rear is selectable as a subwoofer, then you can run channel A and the subwoofer input. Channel B will then be paralleled off of A. Now over here you have the A/B or subwoofer. If you select subwoofer as your input, you can plug an RCA into this. If you select AB as your input, then it's going to grab its signal off of A and B. Now what that means is that if you selected A here and A plus B, you can plug a single RCA into A and it will populate all 6 of the inputs. This would be nice if you're using something like a Bluetooth dongle and let's say a car that doesn't have a source unit. You could simply plug in here and it'll cover the whole amplifier for you. Now let's check out the power side of the amplifier. Right off the bat, you can see the 3 30 amp fuses. You have a 4-gauge power and ground input along with the remote turn on. You have your subwoofer input and your channel B and your channel A inputs. This is also bridgeable. The bridge inputs are labeled across the bottom. The standard stereo inputs are labeled across the top. Now there's 2 of these amplifiers available this year. This is the limited distribution model, which means it has 3 things different than the standard. It has audio grade components, it has those gold RCA inputs, and it's high res audio as well. This amplifier was designed to replace the 9605, this guy. Let's take a closer look at the 2 to see what they've changed or possibly left the same. We'll start by taking a look at the input side. Those gold RCAs, regular silver RCAs. A, B, and sub are labeled the same. The crossover frequencies are the same, along with your input sensitivity. But what has changed is the newer bass knob uses a different style connector than the old one, as well as your high-level input has changed. Now looking at the power output side, there's 2 noticeable differences. One is obvious, which is the fuse. The second one might not be. As you've noticed here on the 9605, it's very hard to see the text. They went with a lighter, easier to see text that offers more contrast. This will definitely make installing it a little bit easier. Now even though on the website they say the 975 is the same size as the 9605, you can see here that it is a little wider as well as a little bit narrower. Now since the new amplifier is boasting better components along with high-res audio, let's go ahead, flip them over and take a look at the circuit board and see if those have changed. We have the backs off. We have the 9605 here and the 975 here. They're definitely different. As you can see in this area here across the top, the 2 have changed, as well as down here in the bottom. This is a much busier area than is on this amplifier. They've also added some heat shrink around this portion of the amplifier because down inside there's a few more components than there are in this amplifier. Now let me zoom in a little bit more and you can see them up close. Alright, so that's the Pioneer GM DX975. I'm sure this amplifier is going to be a big hit this year, just like the 9605 was. If there was one thing on this amplifier I really wish they would have changed over the 9605, it's this guy right here. These outputs come out at an angle, which when you're trying to get a big wire like a 4-gauge into here, tends to pinch. We like to add a 1/2-inch spacer to raise the amplifier up so that wire can get in there nice and easy. When you're going to install this amplifier, try to find a place to put it that lifts it up about a 1/2 inch via some risers or whatnot. It'll make getting those wires into this a heck of a lot easier. Alright guys, Fernando, if you please.
Alright, if you like this video, please subscribe, share, like, you know where you find us, Facebook, Instagram, and here in YouTube.
You guys have a nice night as always. We'll see you later next time. Bye.